If there is one problem with the United States crop insurance program, the man in charge of writing the House version of the new Farm Bill says it's that crop insurance does not include enough people. Congressman Frank Lucas, the 9-term Oklahoma Republican and chairman of the House Agriculture Committee, said at a stop in Illinois that while taxpayers may have to cover as much as $40 billion in payouts to corn and soybean farmers, ranchers and other livestock producers aren't included in the crop insurance program.
Crop farmers have access to crop insurance. It works, but the livestock folks don't. That's why we passed, just before we came home, the bill to fund the livestock disaster part of the program. And hopefully, in September, the Senate will respond so that livestock producers will have some help, as the crop people will have.
The livestock aid would have the USDA send $383 million to ranchers and hog farmers across the country, but that's a tiny sliver of what crop insurance is costing taxpayers. Taxpayers cover about 2/3 of the cost for crop insurance premiums, $7.4 billion in total last year. That's up from $1.5 billion back in 2002, and $3.8 billion more than farmers themselves paid in 2011. Lucas says the current crop insurance system, which is expected to pay out anywhere between $20 and $40 billion to farmers for this summer's drought, is, in his words, efficient and works well.
Crop insurance has been very cost effective in the last decade, the last 20 years for that matter. We spent something like $9 billion in payouts over the last decade. Now, with the potential for $30, maybe $40 billion, that is an issue.
But the numbers don't add up. An Iowa State University study showed that from 2002 to 2008, taxpayers paid $22 billion to deliver $11 billion in crop insurance payouts. That doesn't sound efficient, or that crop insurance is necessarily working for everybody. It's certainly working for the people getting paid, but not necessarily for the people paying the costs.
Well, remember the principle behind crop insurance. That is to be there when there's a disaster, when there's a problem.
Lucas and his fellow Republicans have vowed to be fiscally responsible as they craft a new 5-year farm bill, but it does not appear that the crop insurance system will be changed. Instead, the fiscal focus is on food stamps. Illinois Republican Aaron Schock.
It's also difficult because there's a small number of us who actually have ag-dominant districts. And so we are somewhat held hostage by an overwhelming majority of our colleagues who don't have ag-dominant districts and who are insisting on these food stamp programs to be a part of an overall farm bill.
There are 500,000 farms covered by crop insurance. 50 million people across the country receive some sort of food stamp assistance. Current food stamp spending is $80 billion. Crop insurance payouts for this summer's drought could be $40 billion. For Watchdog.org, I'm Benjamin Yount.